obviously not feeling very well today, but I have my Powerade over here and my box of tissues over here, so we're just going to try to power through this and see how it goes. Hey guys, welcome to episode 44 of the Knit Now Swatch Later podcast. My name is Courtney. Today is Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. It's primarily a knitting podcast where I talk about all of my projects and things that I want to knit, as well as crochet, sewing, and whatever other crafts that I happen to be getting into in the last couple of weeks. You can find me on Ravelry as Pup and on Instagram as Knit Now Swatch Later. You can also find my Etsy shop at whiterosefibercompany.com. So it has been a while since I have sat down to podcast. Mainly we have been out of town almost every day for the last 2 weeks, and before that I got sick. And then, of course, I am sick once again, but I wasn't going to let it stop me this time. We're just going for it, so sorry, my voice is really gross sounding, but I wanted to get a video out before I just decided to stop podcasting altogether because it's been so long. But I'm going to try to jump back into it, starting with finished objects, which I do have one, which is my Vanilla Opal socks. I don't have the color number, but it is on my Ravelry page, which is linked in the description box below, along with anything else that I talk about during the episode. This is just a plain vanilla sock that I knit on US size 2.25 millimeter needles. I used my Addi Flexi Flips for these, so they went super fast. Those have actually been off of my needles for quite some time, but I haven't podcasted in quite some time, so here we are. So moving into works in progress, I have in my little piggy bag my Socks for Dad, which is a pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. I didn't put a sock blocker in these, or I mean a progress keeper, the last time I showed these on the podcast, so I have no idea how much progress I've made, but we are maybe 10 rounds into the foot, so hopefully not too much longer on these, but I have not touched them in a very long time. They are just not what I've been reaching for. The pattern is okay. It's just, it like cramps up my hands, so I don't really work on it very often. And then after putting it down for so long, I have to re-memorize the pattern, and I can't wait for this to be done, but I also don't want to put in the effort to finish them, if that makes sense. But anyway, moving on, one of my floral project bags, I have my Weekender Light by Andrea Mowry. I think I showed this on the vlog, but you guys haven't seen it on a regular podcast episode. So this is the back ribbing portion I finished, and I just have it on one of my ChowGoo red lace cords with the needle stoppers on the ends, instead of using waste yarn to hold the stitches. And then I cast on the front portion of the ribbing, and I have to go on this until it is 2.5 inches, and I think I'm at like 1.5 inches, maybe 2, so not too much further on that. Again, I just have not been reaching for that. We've had a lot of car knitting time lately. which I will talk about later, but I have mainly been reaching for this little baby sweater that I'm working on. This is the Flax Sweater by Tin Can Knits. I am knitting this for my friend who is pregnant and is due any day now with a little girl. So this is for her, and I just have one sleeve left. I started this, I think last Wednesday in the car, and here we are a week later. I just have to finish the other sleeve. And so far I'm really enjoying it. It's working up really quick. I like the size 4 yarn. The worsted weight yarn on the bigger needles is working up super fast. I love how it is turning out, and depending on how much time I have, I am thinking about putting a little bee on the front, like a bumblebee, because her nursery theme is bumblebees and magnolias, so I thought that would be cute. But if she comes too early, then it'll just be a plain sweater. There's nothing I can do about that. She should have waited. But anyway, so there is that. And this is the second sweater that I have cast on for my friend's daughter. The first one was a bumblebee cardigan that just did not pan out. The pattern, I'm actually kind of upset about it because I paid like $7 or $8 for the pattern, and it was terribly written. There were no instructions for like the color changes. The instructions didn't work out, like it wasn't test knitted or something. So I got really frustrated with that and just threw the whole thing away. I didn't even frog it. I just trashed it. So this is going a lot better. I'm much happier with this sweater than I was with the first one. And then the last work in progress that I have is kind of a subtle transition into acquisitions. I have in this adorable Alice in Wonderland bag that my friend Shari gave me a sock. I'll show the bag more in a second here, but I have started another vanilla sock on my Flexi Flips in yarn that was also gifted to me by my friend Shari. This is Desert Vista Dye Works in the colorway Zombody's Late. And I was really excited about this because I have never tried Desert Vista Dye Works, but I really like it so far. So there's that, and here is the bag again. And then there is also a White Rabbit Progress Keeper. And then the bag is from Cherry Pie Cottage. So that is super adorable. I'm really enjoying that so far. And then also from Shari, she gave me this Desert Vista Dye Works Curiouser and Curiouser, I believe is the colorway. So I am super excited to dig into that as well. And then another acquisition that I got was from the Crazy Sock Lady. I got one of her stitch marker tins, which comes with, I believe there's 50 of the light bulb stitch markers in there, and then a couple of other stitch markers. There is a tapestry needle in here, a regular tapestry needle, and then I also got one of the Jeep stitch markers for Rosie. So I was one of the ones that got these before she sold out of them, just as a free gift with my order. And I also got a pair of the pink Super Snips, which I have been wanting to get for a while, but she was always sold out of the pink. So I finally saw the pink and I snatched those right up, and I really like them. They're the perfect snips for keeping in your project bag for sock knitting. So with my tin and my super snips, I am good to go for all of my sock knitting needs. So that is it for all of the knitting content. So moving into books, I have read a couple of books since the last time I chatted with you guys. I read A Stranger in the House by Shari Lapena, I think is how you say that. That was really good. I read the whole thing in like, I don't know, 3-4 days. It really hooked my interest. The only thing that I didn't like about it was I felt like I figured it out really early on. And there were a couple of twists, but in the end I was like, oh, I knew that was who did it, but otherwise really good. I would recommend that one. And then I also read For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten. That one was okay. It was a dark fantasy spin on Little Red Riding Hood, about the second daughters who are basically sacrificed to the wolf in the woods to protect their town. And without going into too much detail, she obviously does not die because there is a whole story about her. And lots of magic, lots of drama, a little bit too much romance for me. I am not really a romance novel person, so that's probably why I didn't like it that much, but I only gave it like 2 or 3 stars on Goodreads. I will not be continuing the series. I didn't like it that much, and it just seemed like it took forever to finish it. Like, I was going really good with reading like 50 to 100 pages a day, and then in the middle and then towards the end it just dragged, and I was only reading like 10 pages a day before I got bored and put it down. So it seemed like it took me a really long time to finish that one. And then I have recently started Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, which is pretty interesting so far. I'm only like 50 pages in, so not a whole lot has happened, but it's definitely more interesting than For the Wolf so far. So that's good. But that's it for books. So moving into chat, I wanted to talk a little bit about a potential make-along that I might be hosting. I'm really wanting to finish up a bunch of projects. I think I did this last year, I don't remember, but I have tons of whips laying around that just aren't being finished. So what I want to do is finish them all so that I can cast on some fall knits, which in my mind fall knits are sweaters. So I kind of wanted it to coincide a little bit with Natalie's fall make-along, but I actually believe that that already started, so so that won't work out quite how I was hoping it would, but I still think I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to finish up everything on my needles, no new cast-ons whatsoever, and just finish all of my whips, and then celebrate by casting on a new sweater. And I actually might just put my Weekender on hold, my Weekender Light on hold, and have that be my sweater cast on. Like, I'm not that far, so I think it should totally count as a new cast on. So that is my plan. You are welcome to join me. It's not really a formal make-along right now. I might do a prize depending on how many people are interested, and I'll open a Ravelry thread so that you guys can post your whips and your progress on those. So hopefully that will be fun and you will join me in that if you're interested. So I have not been around in a while because we have been so busy. And by busy, I mean for the last 2 weeks, we have had to drive to Akron, Ohio almost every day, which is a 2-hour drive there and back. So 4 hours of driving with a doctor's appointment in the middle is a recipe for some pretty exhausting days. So we're finally over that hump. We don't have any more doctor's appointments for a little while. But yeah, and then after that, I got sick. So I wasn't, I was planning on podcasting today. And then I thought about not because I don't feel super great, but I decided to just do it anyway. So I'm here. I'm dying, but I'm here. And then leading up to the last couple of weeks, I have just been super busy working on things for my sister-in-law's bridal shower. That was 2 weeks ago now. But I made over 100 cookies and decorated them for her shower. Put them all in little thank you bags, the cute little plastic bags with like silver tags that say thank you on them. And I made some adjustments to her dress for the shower. She had a dress already and she didn't love it. So she asked if I could kind of spiff it up for her, so I did that. And I also made stickers for all of the favors, which they did succulents for their party favors. So I made stickers to put on those with their names and the wedding date. So yeah, it's been a busy month. But I think that's everything. I think you guys are all caught up. I think that's all of my projects. I think that is all of my energy for right now. So, I think we're gonna wrap this up and then I'm gonna go take a nap. So, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I typically, not recently, but typically share a podcast every 2 weeks. So until next time, happy knitting. Bye!